What is going on, subs and the dubs viewers? Welcome back to our first episode of Boku no Hero Season 5. And if you couldn't tell by Casey's obnoxious pointing towards Toonie, Toonie has a new webcam.
Look at him. Look at him, bro.
It's pretty clear. It's a little bit of an upgrade, you know.
He's finally got a good webcam.
He finally invested in the good old Logitech that's
I'm gonna
from
miss
this
the
decade.
Toto face.
Yeah.
We're not gonna miss it.
Toonie's now been exposed as not being 6'6" and jacked out of his mind, but
What?
it's okay. Anyways, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Helps us a lot. We appreciate you very much. But season 5, My Hero. Last week we had a filler episode.
I
with
refuse
some
to review that episode. I refuse to even
That
Yeah,
episode
spoken
was
about it.
horrible.
It's whatever. You know, we need to introduce
Wait,
the characters.
quick question though. Yeah, I was just about to say, why are we introducing characters in the
5
fifth
seasons
season?
in, bro.
I think the
Oh my
explanation that
God.
I saw was that because this new arc is like the joint training arc with 1A, 1B, they wanted to like reintroduce all of
But we saw
that.
1A
We only
again.
saw one class.
We only saw
we
1A.
only saw one class.
But I think the point was like they wanted to introduce the side characters of 1A versus like the we obviously yeah, that's the explanation I
Okay,
saw. That they just
they're
wanted-
I
down
feel
to-
like they do this every season. It's gonna continue for the future. So
I hope
It's always going to be one of my biggest gripes about My Hero is it feels like a lot of unnecessary episodes that just don't
100%.
accomplish much. But anyways, in this episode, our first canon episode, we get the wrap up of the Pro Hero arc, which was the
Banger.
Endeavour and Nomu fight. And we see Hawks and kind of come to Endeavor's side. Endeavor's kind of beat up pretty bad, and we see Dabi. Dabi shows up to get the Nomu back, and he has a nice little talk with the two heroes, and kind of
So
shakes up
in
things
that
up.
moment there, like, was he showing that like he could beat them because he said, "Oh, why would I fight the two heroes injured?" Right? Like,
yeah, it was a good opportunity for him, right? If he was gonna ever fight them, like that was like a
Yeah.
great time for him to do it.
But you definitely got to think towards the next scene, right? Because we kind of see Hawks is acting as like a double agent, right?
yeah,
So I'm pretty sure Dabi's kind of fooled that he thinks he's on his side.
100%. Yeah.
Especially after how they planned out the whole attack and how he was supposed to like injure a pretty big hero or whatever, right? That was what they talked about. So I didn't expect them to really kill him after they showed a stat scene. That kind of explained why.
Weirdly enough, reading the manga, it's the only manga I've actually ever read is the My Hero ones, and what I understand is that they used this first canon episode to fill in the gaps that they left at the end of last season, because they cut out a lot of the Dabi and Hawks talking, which they actually come back to this season, which was nice. I'm glad that they filled in those blanks that we missed.
Yeah, honestly, I was kind of surprised they didn't leave us on that cliffhanger at the end of last season, right? Because it would have been so perfect just to see Dabi talk with Hawks, right? It would have been perfect way to end the season. But I was surprised they kind of gave it away like right away, in one episode. I don't know.
It was they did a good job. This is definitely pushing the story forward again, and it was a good conclusion to an arc. Although it felt like a weird place to conclude an arc, to be honest.
Yep. And then anyways, from there we move on to Hawk's backstory. And we kind of see that Hawk was a hero from a very young age. It looked like he saved a van of people on fire.
Yeah.
And immediately was pulled into the ranks of being a hero and saying that this guy is going to be one of the next great heroes.
Yeah.
So we see that early, and then we get to kind of see him talk to a director level lady, I would say, of heroes. They're basically telling him we'd like you to get into the League of Villains. I can't speak right now. So she wants him to infiltrate the League of Villains, and that's where you kind of see the Dabi Hawks.
So I think what they said specifically was that you're a person who can tolerate seeing death and violence and stuff, and so you're the perfect person for this. You're very good at talking your way out of situations, and that you're a perfect double agent, basically. So that was really cool to see that they're using what he's really good at, and that I guess he's super cold. He just doesn't.
Yeah.
He always looks at the bigger picture. I think that's what they said. So you're always looking toward the end goal. So.
It'd be cool to. Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but I was just gonna say it'll be cool to really see more of his backstory as to why they chose him. Like they set the attributes why they did, but like obviously there's some like trauma or something going on there as to like why he's like that. And I think in the last season it kind of explains that he doesn't really like All Might. He's kind of an Endeavor fan, right? So it'll be cool to see a bit more of that backstory, a bit more about how he became the person he is today. So
yeah, I actually really like his character. He's definitely like a very adult character in My Hero for once, right? Yeah. Like he has like a lot going for him, that like he has actual problems that are happening all the time.
Something that's interesting is like I feel like looking at the heroes now, especially, I feel like they've lost a lot of firepower, right? Because like this guy seems more like a support hero or like more of like an assassin type, and he's number 2 overall. Or you gotta be concerned, right?
Yeah, I think that's true. So they definitely are weak. Well, remember, I think they even like showed it in the episode that All Might was the pillar, and then they're explaining that like as soon as you left, everything kind of went to pots. Even with a new camera, he turns different colors, bro. It is crazy.
It's my internet.
I don't know.
Or goddamn it, Rogers.
But yeah, I'm super excited. And then I think that quickly leads us over into he is just turning colors left and right. Oh my god! But that leads us quickly over into the Todoroki family dinner.
Yeah, very interesting scene. We see
I like
a very different looking Endeavor gets out of the hospital. No flames. You kind of get to see what his body like actually looks like without that. And he's much like he's still large, but he's like smaller at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like he kind of comes home, and we have Shoto is obviously there. We have his sister, and we have a brother. And obviously tensions are high because Endeavor is not the family man. There's a lot of trauma in their lives from growing up and him trying to create the perfect offspring. So there's some deep issues going on, and obviously the sister is a little bit more receptive because she's a little bit more hopeful than the rest. And we already saw some like Shoto growth in earlier seasons with him forgiving his mother and like kind of wanting to get closer to his father, and then the brother's just not having it.
I feel like it's because his brother knows like the whole story with like the original son.
That's the other important thing is he mentions their eldest brother. Some kind of catastrophe happened, and he still holds that against his father. His father's not a great person, not a great father.
I'm not entirely sure. Like I can't remember the exact incident. I read about it, but I can't remember again what the incident was. But I think we'll figure that out later. But it was a really cool scene to see Endeavor trying to like fix his family relations, and like I feel like this is like foreshadowing though. So,
you know what I kind of don't like about this though? What? I feel like his entire goal was to like finally find someone that's gonna like surpass All Might, right?
Yeah.
And clearly Todoroki is like the perfect candidate. So I feel like
you gotta be more specific. There's a lot of Todorokis in this household.
Okay, Shoto.
Yeah.
I feel like he already like achieved everything he wanted to, right? Like obviously Shoto is like he balances out himself perfectly with his powers, the ice and fire, and it's like that's what he was really searching for. So I feel like this whole like turnaround of his character is kind of like it feels wrong, It feels like he already got what he's doing, so I'm gonna try to focus on my family now.
He achieved what I wanted to, so now I gotta like pay like.
Yeah, so I don't know how you guys feel about that.
I mean, I'm always gonna be like somewhat happy that like the terrible father kind of wants to make amends. So like, I mean, I obviously want him to like apologize and make up for like the wrongs of his past, because he obviously has a lot of family issues to fix. But like in the end he was a shit father, and that's kind of hard to get over.
Tell us below in the comments like what you guys think about this situation, because like it does make sense that like he was a terrible father, but at the same time like he's kind of succeeded in what he was trying to do and why he was a terrible father. So tell us below what you think the situation is, and do you think it's right for him to just all of a sudden want to be a good father again? And we finally get to see the payoff from the actual cliffhanger of last season. We got to see Deku's full dream this time. We finally got to see Although I'm pretty much sure they teased like almost the entire dream except for the original user of One for All. This is
I
tough,
think they teased a few characters. I don't know if they teased the original one because we finally got to see some dialogue, which was definitely new compared to last season. So, and we kind of see All for One, and I believe the first user says
younger brother,
right? The younger brother of All for One.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
We never got to see how he got the power of One for All, though, did we?
No.
No.
That was not like explained or anything. But like the important thing of this dream was basically it was a conversation between the younger brother and All for One. All for One's obviously abusing his powers to give people what they want. Some people with quirks that want to get rid of them. Some people that don't have quirks.
That was a great scene. That was such a great scene.
Yeah, and basically his All for One's whole thing is he always wants to like get something from providing a service. So he's always getting people to join his cause, or like if he asks for help, to be there to help him. So that's kind of how like the All for One evil villain starts out, is him just getting people to owe him.
But I kind of like how they kind of play him off as like an anti-hero in the beginning, because they show that example with the civilian, right? And how he was always a super nice guy. He was taking care of his mom or parents or whatever. And just because of the powers, it changed how he looked, and that's how a lot of people perceived him. They started treating him poorly, making fun of him, and he's like, I really just want to get rid of this power. And in a way, All for One saved him, So So it kind of goes back to perspective on what really is a villain again, I guess. I don't know.
I think the biggest payout of this whole dream scene is the original One for All user saying, Deku, you're only at 20% of your power. Yeah. And I think that was like really cool and an important scene to see that like Deku's still so early on in his One for All development. And like he's only gonna get stronger, and then like obviously we have the animation of like his arm getting like the power coursing through his arm. So like I can only imagine that's kind of like the next unlock of like to move to the next level or something like that.
Dude, I've always wondered like why doesn't Eri-chan just fix Deku's arms from like those fights from like before?
I don't think she can control her power though. That's why.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. But yeah. And that pretty much leads us to the end of the episode. And I guess we could talk about the preview. The preview did show them that it will be a training arc.
Yeah.
And it will be Class 1A versus Class 1B with a special guest, as they teased. They didn't say who the special guest was, but that was this episode of Boku no Hero. I'm glad it's back on. It's still one of my favorite shows. My favorite animes. And I hope it's good.
Yeah.
How long do you think the because I read the manga for this, like I think we all have pretty much.
I have not.
You basically have, haven't you?
I have a lot. I've heard a lot of spoilers, but so whatever.
We're gonna do our best not to talk about spoilers. But
in the comments, also, there's a lot of foreshadowing stuff in this episode, and obviously a lot of spoilers that could be said. Let's try to keep them out.
Yeah, we're doing our best. I'll do our best to moderate it too, like. So if comments are deleted, I apologize, but we're trying to maintain the anime. Try to
keep it spoiler free.
Yeah, but that's been it for Subs and Dubs, the first true episode of Boku no Hero this week. I'll see y'all later. Deuce.
Thank you for watching.
Bye. Thanks.